Greetings, everyone! Welcome to Legacies of Caine, an Advent of Darkness story. It's Vampire the Masquerade, and of course, we are doing V20, if you're introducing the 20th anniversary, not quite the 5th edition. And, if you're joining us for the first time, we're going to give you a little bit of rundown of what's going on here. Last time, if you had joined us, though, our group brought the Camarilla representative, Cock Robin, a former Justicar.
About him.
Yeah,
We didn't laugh at him at the time.
Yeah, no. A Nosferatu who is a former Justicar, and Federico di Padua as his Archon kind of bodyguard, to meet with the Assamites and True Bruja within Cairo in hopes of making deals with them. Assamites went okay. True Bruja kind of got Dawn in a weird situation.
I'm a spy now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, of course, they decided to travel to the Saqqara necropolis to speak to the Cappadocian that lived there. Where Nathan...
That didn't sound dangerous.
It didn't sound dangerous at all. Where Nathan ran into her, and apparently her sire, who had awakened, was an even more powerful Cappadocian. Good times!
Good times.
And so they're apparently arranging some sort of, reunion between all those that practice necromancy, and they've sort of what would we call this? Negotiated a deal with Nathan to help organize it?
Yeah, threat negotiated is probably about as good as you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
The end on their end, on our team's here end, if they get successful, he will introduce them to parts of the Shadowlands and take them to the remains of the Shadows of Enoch, which, as you described, was mostly destroyed, but there are still sections of it left. Enough for our group here to figure out what they need? Hard to say. But it might be enough to, lead them in the right direction. And it's a good start. So, he's given you a list of folks that he wants you to make deals with. He wants you to contact the Harbinger of the Skulls, the Lamia, the Samedi, and the Nagaraja. On the one end, the Harbinger of the Skulls, have been represented by Mahatma. That's the name he gave. And the Samedi are represented by, Baron Samedi. The Lamia, unfortunately, you know that rumors are that their original founder, Lamia, is deceased. Beyond that, you're not sure who's in charge of them right now. And the Nagaraja, you have no clue.
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at right now. Having left the necropolis and retrieving Emil and Dawn, you can get back to the party bus, where Ryan has been, keeping the party going. Very awkwardly. He's been successful just because everybody's probably, really high and drunk and stuff, and,
Stoned and drunk.
And don't really need a lot. But Ryan, you can tell he's at fish out of water. He's he's got the glowy necklaces on, and they just don't fit with him, and he's kind of dancing to the music with these very pretty women, looking a little nervous, it's oh yeah, this is going good. Nathan, oh my God, are we ready?
Yep. All right, let's take the party bus home.
What?
I guess buffet for dinner?
Okay, I guess, you didn't need anything here. That's fine. Okay.
They were uninterested.
Some people just don't know how to party.
Mm-hmm. Unlike you, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm glad to,
Very impressed.
glad to have been, here to do my, job.
bride still sticks with us. I don't know.
Look, the the Grey Alert Cockroach gave him a job, and he told him not to yet.
I mean, generally we do pretty well by him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll try.
He just gets in occasional awkward situations.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? Because you're gonna need one right now.
I mean, I guess the first part of the plan is, take people back to Cairo and drop them off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing bad having happened to them.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then return the party bus that we no longer need.
Okay.
Well, where is Mahatma's temple?
All right. Do you want to give me a check to see if you actually can know that? Have you heard about that when you dove into some of your vampire politics? I'm going to say, since he is it's going to be difficulty 8 to know where he's located out of, just because of the
intelligence politics.
Intelligence politics, yes.
Okay.
All right. You looking into it, you know that he works as Mahatma isn't actually considered a harbinger of skulls, but he seems to work deeply with them. He also is a member of the Inkanu and works out of Istanbul.
Okay.
The Inkanu are effectively like a secret sect of like elder vampires, mostly.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem at all.
They tend to be like less like their own, like, they are kind of their own group, but it's more like an alliance of elders that, when something threatens elder control, they might work on it. They oftentimes both work behind the scenes within actual groups that are like the surface groups like Camarilla or the Sabat. They don't technically push forward a lot of like the stuff that's the big society stuff, the wars between the vampires and stuff. It's like, that's the good thing about them, and why most of the time they are spoken about, but like in kind of like in low rumbles, but no one actually like damns them or anything, because a lot of times they are seeking like, there are many of them that seek Golconda, the kind of like perfect balance between man and beast.
Okay.
So it's effectively a group that are looking for their own peace in their ancient lives, but they know that they can't do that without, keeping things peaceful in a way. Hence their little things of manipulation.
Got it. All right. Well, then I guess we'll get things ready for the plane to head to Istanbul. Not Constantinople.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long time gone.
Okay. You can arrange your trips to Istanbul. It won't take you long at all. Just the general, getting back, planning for the next trip. And it's not far from here, so you can probably get a plane ride even this night if you wanted to, and get there before the dawn.
I mean, I imagine I'd arrive with dawn.
I'm so sorry I picked this name.
It's the
I
best,
love it.
Don't worry.
I mean, I imagine it would just be a matter of filing flight plans with the Federal Aviation Commission or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess I'll let Muckbar and Nasty Teeth, or Nasty Beef, know that we're doing a bit of traveling, but we'll be back to check out some more things in
Okay.
the near future.
Sounds good.
All right. I will thank Nasty Beef very kindly for his hospitality and his aid,
Mm-hmm.
and let him know that if there's anything I can do from New York, for him to let me know.
Yes, I can let you know if there's something that would be appropriate.
All right.
All right. So,
Let's go.
you arrive in Istanbul. Let's see here. Istanbul's a cameraless city. There's a prince here, Mustafa. You can easily know from your politics that though Mustafa is the seemingly prince of Ventru, technically speaking, the Toreador control the city. They're the true power behind it.
Okay.
Recently, Methuselah passed away, but her child, Vashti, passed away. Nakshidil is the current place of power. Though you still have to keep with the politics and would have to go to the prince and announce yourself in the city, you know that's the person that is thought to be the one in charge of the city.
Okay. Prince Mustafa, but who's the Toreador that's in charge?
Mustafa, there's his name, and Nakshidil, who's been only in charge for a short while.
Okay.
Short while, though, could, is like a number of years. Like, she was in charge of things in the city for hundreds of years. Technically, Nakshidil has been in charge for less than 100. It was in the 1930s that she was slaved. So it has been a little while, but it's effectively this has been a power bastion for the Toreador for such a long period of time, and you're still relatively new to it in comparison to your sire.
Okay. Cool.
So-
Then I guess we'll find a way to announce ourselves before Prince Mustafa.
You will know the Mahatma, where he is in the city is unknown. Even with all the information you knew, you know that only it's rather than it's information that's kind of in the public says that he is in the city somewhere, hidden beneath.
Yeah, what I said was Prince Mustafa.
I know. I'm just saying I'm just saying if you're going to ask around for information on him, people generally don't know.
Got it.
So maybe the prince might not even know. You need to find someone like that would be in the know, probably. But okay.
Sure, but we still need to announce ourselves to
Yes.
the prince if we intend on eating.
So, Mustafa will meet you in kind of a late night open aired market. There'll be a number of people there that you can tell are probably would look like guards and are probably some kind of guards and stuff. But he seems to be working the streets almost, as if he has a little bit of a public figure, the kind of maybe this could be his herd, or just maybe he has established himself in a way as a figurehead in a way in the area. I guess both.
Sure.
Because he kind of is a figurehead anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome to my city. Thank you for coming. You are Nathan, yes?
Indeed.
Your prince said you would be coming and visiting here for a little bit. It has been a while since we have had Western vampires visit us. with things how they've been bad in Europe.
So I've heard.
Getting worse. Fortunately, it has not spread here, and the Camarilla still remains strong. So,
I don't intend to bring any of that nonsense. I am mostly looking into research and facilitating a meeting for another.
all right. Well, if there's anything that I, in my capacity, can help you with, please let me know. I have plenty of contacts within the city that I can reach out to.
Well, we are looking for one of an old blood.
There are still a few within the city. Many have either passed or left. But for the oldest of us, there are the oldest of our kind in the city. There are those that could be found.
Certainly. In an old city, I'm hoping to find Mahatma.
That is a name only heard in passing around here. As of late, a few more times. He'll kind of pass off like a conversation in Istanbul. Is Arabic? It's Arabic and still in Turkey, as far as I know. Or is there a Turkish language? So. I'm going to try to be accurate about this. Google Turkey. Language.
I mean, depending on how old Mustafa is, it might be Arabic anyway.
There's a Turkish. There's Turkish, Kermanji, Arabic, Sazathki.
Did you say Comanche?
Kermanji.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
I was going to say, I could have sworn Comanche was like a United States Native American tribe. I didn't realize that a lot of them relocated to Turkey.
Yes,
anyway.
The official language is Turkish. So he says something in Turkish. He probably does know older versions of the language, but he's like he does a little bit of modern Turkish with someone that's there for a second, like because he's kind of like you're going with him as he's kind of like walking around the market stuff too, like talking and meeting with people almost like he's doing like a little bit of meet and greet for this evening, which you don't know how often he does this either too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I cannot help you with finding this man.
Understandable.
I could reach out to a few contacts to see if they'd be willing to speak to you, but I'm unsure.
I would appreciate that. I merely bring a message. Hopefully nothing that should affect your city in any significant way.
That is excellent. Let me know where you're staying, and I will give contact. He is the known monitor of this city, this region.
Okay.
But that does not mean we know where he watches from.
Well, we have not yet set up lodgings. I will send word to you once we have. Unless you have any recommendations or suggestions.
There are plenty of fine places in the city.
Of course.
I would stay out of, the Nosferatu Warrens would be welcoming. They always are. And if you're looking for information, they might have some. I would avoid the, he'll say the name, it is home to Simice. Hard to say how many of them are true Ente Tribu, and how many are Sabat spies. They've always been welcomed here in their little section of the city, though. Tolerated.
Excellent. Thank you for the suggestion.
All right.
Off we go. Set up a
Okay. You could
hotel room or whatever.
Okay. Particular any region like you mentioned, or just gonna kind of do anywhere?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna stay away from. He said Simice?
There's a group of Simice.
Yeah. I mean, anybody have a problem with Nosferatu?
Nope.
No.
All right. Let's go there.
Then you can set up in a hotel within the area of their warrens. It'll probably be up to you to contact them if you want.
Yeah.
Correctly?
Well, if we did some stuff last night and then flew to Istanbul, we probably don't have a whole lot of time left.
No.
So I can see if I can get a message to someone, but I imagine the meeting would be for the following night.
Yep.
All right.
Then the morning shall once again return, and you sleep the day away, and the next evening will arrive, where you will see that a little after when you all awaken, you will receive a message from someone. A Geditz Saban.
Geditz?
Yes, let me put this name into chat here.
Excellent.
Geditz Saban.
Giving us a time and place for a meeting? Or what's the message say?
It'll tell you, yeah, basically time and place for a meeting. It'll be under, like, you want to go to the certain back alley at this time. They say, one of you come alone.
Oh.
So Nosferatu are saying one of us come alone?
Mm-hmm.
That's worrying, huh?
How far is it from the hotel?
Not long. It's basically a couple blocks away.
Okay.
One, I could go. I'm a little bit more adept if something goes wrong. Oh.
I can
take a couple more
potentially
hits.
disappear if something goes wrong.
That's true too.
I was also going to suggest that we send you in on a phone call to us, and we'll be like the next block over, and then if we hear anything even slightly strange, we'll come ready to murder.
Sounds like an excellent plan. Although I might recommend remaining in the hotel, or at least nearby, and like as minimally towards that area as possible, as they might be watching, to ensure that we are not
That is true. Maybe staying.
that we're following instructions.
Is there a restaurant with outside seating?
There are probably some, like, a little nearby, but you're still going to be, like, maybe, like, a block away.
That's exactly what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of distance, but you're not...
Close enough to jog to or run if needed.
Yeah. Pretty much as long as we can get there within 2 or 3 turns.
Yep.
Okay.
And, you know, I got at least 1 dot of celerity, so that should help.
Barring overwhelming numbers, I should be okay for a round or 2.
Yeah.
And even then, if you go down, we should get there before you die.
Possibly.
Yeah, probably. And who knows? Everything might go just swimmingly. I thought the exact same lap. But still, it would be nice.
We can hope.
Mm-hmm.
One day it will happen.
All right.
Okay.
So,
You'll kind of head to the alley, and in a kind of for a minute, like you'll arrive on time, and everything will kind of be quiet. It's going to be like a kind of dark, dirty alley, not really a lot of light. In the back of somewhere back city streets of Istanbul. Probably in this area is like an older district of it, so it's like a lot of like the like kind of like the sandstone looking buildings that they still have under in construction there. After a little while, you hear this voice of being like, "So, you are the visitor around here."
I'm sure there are many, but I believe I am a unique visitor, yes.
What brings you here? Why have you contacted me?
Well, I've known Nosferatu to be excellent at both finding and distributing information. And that is what I am in need of at the moment.
This is true. So, why would I be willing to share some information with you?
Well, frequently, usually information has a price. And often that price is easily worked out and negotiated monetarily.
It can be, depending on the information. So, what do you want to know?
I'm merely looking for the whereabouts of a certain of the kindred named Mahatma.
That's a difficult name to be connected with. But not an impossible one, too. Alright.
Alright.
There's probably some price that can be paid for this.
There usually is.
I'll let you know.
Alright.
Welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you, thank you.
And it will be quiet after that.
Excellent. I will turn around and walk back to the hotel.
Okay. Alright, won't be difficult to travel back to the hotel.
Cool.
You'll be able to meet up with the others, and they'll be kind of like... Oh, great. Starting the music on me.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry. It's the rare one of these vampire tabs started something, which is not like the others. So there was a little musical interlude everybody got to hear. All right, you can get back to the hotel just fine. Do you have any plans until you hear from them?
Well, we could always go sightseeing.
Oh, yeah. I've got my tourist
Yeah.
camera.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you go some sightseeing, enjoy some of classic Istanbul, a little bit of the nightlife and areas that you get into at night, or you can arrange to get into at night with enough, like, palms greased. A couple of days will pass, and you will receive another message to meet in the same alley, alone again.
All right.
Okay.
Same procedure,
Yep.
same thing. I will head down to the alley.
Information was tough, but possible.
Hmm.
The price would be $500,000 if you want it. It's dangerous information, and it is more than just finding a location. Finding a location would be even more difficult. But letting a man know that a man is searching for him, and is friendly, is a lot easier. For our money, a man named Mahatma will know that you are looking for him.
Hmm. You all are excellent with computers, correct?
Many of us are. We're just excellent with information.
Excellent.
Why?
I will initiate a transfer to whatever account you wish once I have met with Mahatma. Because if Mahatma knows that I'm looking for him and I don't get my meeting, then I haven't received any useful information that I would pay for. But once I get my meeting, I'm happy to have the transfer occur.
How about this? When you have a time and a place for a meeting, you send us the money. Before the meeting, though. Because whether the meeting goes south or goes well, not for us. We got you that place. Agreed.
Agreed?
We'll be watching.
I expect nothing less.
And it'll be quiet again.
And I'll turn and leave.
This is going much too well. We didn't even get slapped.
I didn't even get what now?
Slapped. Or anything. There was...
Yeah.
Now I'm nervous.
I imagine the problem's going to come when we actually get the meeting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that went as well as I expected.
Alright. So.
Also, we're going to be staying in slightly less nice hotels in the near future. Because
Yeah.
information can be expensive. Worthwhile, but expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Serenade of the stream niece.
Yeah, she's running around singing. It's better than her running around screaming.
Very
That's
true.
fair.
All right.
Alright, yeah. A few more days will pass, and you'll hear a knock on your door. Mm-hmm.
I'll go over and open it.
I was asked to deliver this to you.
All right. message?
Mm-hmm.
Like a letter or something?
Yes. Let me just check something. I just want to figure out what. It's an invitation to an opera at the Surveya Opera House.
Hmm.
I wanted to say opera earlier, but I had to actually look up if there was an opera theater in Istanbul, and
There's
is.
opera anarchy.
There's an opera house in Istanbul, and you've been invited.
There usually
I'm
are
probably
opera
completely
houses in
separate, though.
capitals.
My grandmother's actually sung there.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Is it for one or for?
For
Like
two.
Hmm. Well, who would like to be my date? Do any of you like opera?
Oh, sorry. I barely get into musicals.
All right. Dawn, Emil.
I've never been to an opera. That's the one where they just kind of. It's really loud, right? That's the thing.
I think that's more rock concerts and other outside engagements. It's more long classical music, usually with very elaborate stage dress, and depending on the area, elaborate set work.
Ooh.
Also, you tend to wear very formal attire.
Formal attire.
All
This
right,
one,
Dawn, I guess
this
we're getting
one,
a new dress.
the event. I'm gonna say the event at the opera house is like technically not an opera you're going to it because it's a ballet. Because they do
Ooh.
opera and ballet at the opera house there.
Hmm.
I have no idea what show. I don't know enough shows from either, so that's why I'm just gonna say that though.
It's a ballet.
It's a ballet.
Mhm.
Very fancy though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dawn, new dress?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay. You'll prepare for the event and arrive. You'll actually find yourself being set to one of the kind of stage boxes, like the side boxes, where they're seating for four. You'll initially arrive, be the only ones in there, and the show will start. The show will be going on. There will be music going. There will be dancers. I have no idea. Like Nathan, you've probably gone to a few shows like this in your day.
I mean, given that I was around before the movie theaters really existed so much, yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. And like you worked your way up from like lesser being like life, so you probably remember like the penny theaters back in the day that of like those kind of shows, and then like going to the big shows and the operas and the ballets and stuff. You know, that was the big ticket stuff you liked going to. Dawn, it's people dancing. Up to you how much Dawn would enjoy people dancing.
I think Dawn would be absolutely enthralled by the whole thing because it's so fancy.
It is very fancy. About halfway through the show, a younger-looking man in sharply dressed clothes is going to come in and sit down next to you. He's gonna like a person, like one of the box people that come over with like can deliver snacks and drinks to like the side boxes and stuff where the bigger paying people. One will come up and he'll like mention he doesn't need anything. So why are you looking for me?
Well, I bear a message requesting your presence at a meeting.
My presence directly?
Well, I suppose I'm not sure. Are you Mahatma?
So, what kind of meeting is this?
A meeting of many who are interested in the business of death,
All right.
in the trade of death.
There are many that are.
Indeed, but not many hail from Egypt.
What does she want?
She requests your presence for a meeting.
I can show up there. Do you know what this meeting is about at all? Or are you just a messenger sent to piddle your wares and convince me to leave my domain temporarily to visit her?
Honestly, I know very little of the workings between you and her, between the rest of, I'm not sure if I'd say family, but the others who deal in death, so to speak.
He's gonna look puzzled for a second and then like kind of turn towards you like directly rather than looking at the show and like, what do you mean? You're being very vague with your words. I can understand the need for scarcity in language. How many are you meeting with? Who are you meeting with? What is this all about? This seems to be much more than just me meeting with an old friend under the Egyptian sands.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I would imagine that it has something to do with your shared interest in death and the afterlife, so to speak. But, as I'm sure you've noticed, I am not privy to those secrets.
Don't forget that the one that actually asked you was Lazarus.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
If he's saying that she's an old friend, I'm gonna stick with that until that seems to not work.
Okay. Well, she's asking a few of the old blood spread around the world will meet, and that's fine. Are there any you know that you're looking for?
A certain baron, whom I understand might be further back towards the west where I'm from.
He's gonna stop for a second and just kind of look over towards you and be like, "This is more than just the clan of death that you seek."
As I said, those whose business is death.
When you say business and those, do you need a person or a blood?
Again, I don't actually know.
You are an awful messenger.
Perhaps you could be more clear so that I might better answer your questions.
If you are looking for Samedi, he is not one of our clan, of our blood, or its offshoots.
All right.
Oh, he may be. It's hard to say. Difficulty in explanation is one of those things when you talk those that are related to each other. Whatever your blood may be, I'm sure it has its bastard offshoots around the globe that find themselves different yet connected to you. That is of the blood that you speak, and if we are meeting with him, it is very different than just meeting with me and those of the old Cappadocian line. That is what I mean by the clan of death. That's what we were known as. So I asked you, do you just mean that that she wishes to assemble only those of us that are Cappadocian, or something more? What were you asked of, messenger? Explain it to me now, and I might be able to assist you on this.
Ah.
If not,
Very well.
I'll be quite cross.
Though I certainly would not want you cross, then my message would be a failure. And I would have to report back to both your good friend and her sire that I was unable to convince you to join them.
A kind of sneer is going to kind of cross his face. So he is awake too. Alright. Explain.
I am, again, unsure what you need explained.
Tell me everything that was told to you. Why were you put on this mission? You forget. I too am like her sire. We both drank deep of the blood of Cappadocia, and we are not to be trifled with.
I assure you I am not trying to trifle with anyone. I made an agreement with her sire that he would assist me in research in exchange for my aid in gathering together you, Samedi, Lamia, and the Naga Raja.
Why me in this cast of characters?
I was not given a reason. I was told that you would be the easiest to find.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice, Nathan, and because you're not saying enough, it's gonna really screw things up. You just have to say Harbinger of Skulls.
Oh!
Yes!
Got it. Okay.
Yes! He's gonna show up as himself and be confused, and the entire thing will not work, because you're supposed to represent bloodlines.
Got it.
I've been trying to get you to say that, and I'm like, oh my god, why are you skirting around this entire stuff?
Okay. Because I didn't realize that that's what I was supposed to say.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's been a long day.
It's been a day.
Yep.
It's fine. It's fine. I
was told to assemble those who bring skulls. Or who announced them. I'm unsure the specific definition.
I see what you mean. Yes, I can be a representative there. But unfortunately, I cannot be the only one, which my old friend's sire would not be aware. But I can give you 2 more names of people you must seek. And a third, if whatever this meeting is going to be successful will be. One who has power that needs to be contacted still. A little more dangerous, though, for you. First, you must head back to Egypt. Seek out Henri. She is powerful. She is she is like me. But I am not truly of the Skulls. Those that did that spent time in the Shadowlands to hide. I merely have been a conduit for them returning from there. You will know when you found her in the desert by the bones. It will be a graveyard of all things live.
Okay.
Be careful with her, though. She's dangerous, but Let her know that I've asked for her presence. She will come. Then you must seek out Kusharid. I can give you a... I'll type with their knives in chat here. Kusharid is a man that you can probably easily find once you recognize him. He wears a mask like a sun. Some time ago, I believe there was a meeting slightly similar to this, led by Angelique. It seems as though that Lazarus has bigger plans than the last one. Are you familiar with a man named Beckett?
I've had the pleasure of meeting him.
Well, he should know where Khurshid is currently. The last one you will need to contact is not one of the Skulls, but one of the Clan of Death. That if this meeting is to be successful, needs to be contacted. The betrayer herself, Apatia. That name seems familiar.
Oh, it's not one of the people that we were sent for specifically.
No, it's a very old familiarity.
Apatia.
Mm-hmm. It came up when a certain friend of yours was mysteriously kidnapped.
Samuel?
You remember, afterwards, there was a motorcycle gang involved.
Yes! I fucking remember! That was a whole thing!
She is Sabat. And a Cappadocian.
Great. Well, that'll be fun.
Any non-harbingers that are working along with anything that would be called a Cappadocian directly in the Sabat would be under her. Hence why he's mentioning that it probably would be useful to contact her.
Okay.
If there's a true meeting between all of death, then you want to contact her. I long ago forgave any transgressions. Blood is blood, and the weakness of our own clan allowed ourselves to be called like this. Hate? Yes. I've hatred for many, but forgave. Enough. Enough that I know that she will be important here. Whatever deal you broke with Lazarus, it's more difficult than you thought. Not impossible, but more difficult. But know this. If you were successful in reaching the others, come to this list. I would say your worst part of this list is these. Go across the world, seek those others. The Baron and his blood. The Sisters. And the Flesh Eaters. Might be easier. Be careful of her, though. I would save her for last. The Queen of Tombs is not to be trifled with.
Nor are any of the others, I'm sure, including yourself. And as I had said, I do not trifle with you, sir. Have you any idea where I might find any of the others on my list?
The Caribbean calls if you seek the Baron. Lamia? Well. You may have found some evidence of them if you've already been to the city of Cairo. Their blood was almost wiped out, along with their sire. A small group known as the Lilin, though. Some of them, I hear rumors, are in Cairo. Are they the leadership? Probably not. But you can make peace with them there. You may be able to find where their elder is. Your friend probably should go and talk to them. They are... well... Lamia are...
They prefer feminine?
yes.
Ah. Excellent. My mouth does get dry sometimes.
Within the blood of them, those of male descent that are embraced are of lesser, often subservient to their female greetings.
All right. And the Nagaraja?
They're on the outskirts. If you've heard of the Talmai Ra, they are known as servants of them in these days and ages. They are different than us, but still, I can see why, because of their necromantic powers, they'd be welcome to this meet. Rumor has it that there are some still alive, and in good numbers, in the Far East. In the, under the pall of the Green Court in Korea. I have not been one to mess with the keui-jin, though, so you'd have to work with them in order to get a meeting.
All right.
Well, good luck to you. It seems that you have a much more difficult fight than expected. But I shall head for Egypt myself shortly, as soon as I arrange things here. As he gets up to leave.
Excellent. I am never looking for a fight.
Let me say this, as he kind of like turns back for a second. As someone that has always observed more and interfered lightly, he does not share the same anger as my brother. If you help the clans of death, and something good comes of this, you might have friends. And he'll leave. Yes, you get a very good sense. Lazarus very on mission and angry. Him, reasonable. Probably.
That's never good.
Yeah, it's more of a warning sign than anything else.
Uh-huh. Anyway, as the meeting ends there, we will take our first break, actually. And we'll move off here. So if you need to use the restroom, get a snack, grab a drink, you have an idea of where to meet with everybody, and you have a list of a couple extra single people that you have to meet with that would help to unite these things. The unfortunate part about the Harbinger of Skulls, they're a little fractured and spread apart.
Yeah.
Lots of vacations.
Yeah.
Yep.
But go take that break, and we'll be back soon.